afternoon, ladies and hands. We are here live from Core Brewing Taproom here in Northwest Arkansas, home of Scarlet Letter, where we got an exciting episode today for you guys. Where some special guests will come on stage with us in a little bit. We kicked off. We're going to some up-to-date news and just raise your hand. Last couple of days. So before we begin, this show is brought to you by Scarlet Letter, Arkansas's handcrafted seltzer, spiked seltzer made here in Northwest Arkansas. We're also brought to you by Homefield. Step into the legacy of collegiate style with Homefield's premium vintage ale. Nice spirit of the all my favorite team with our contingency crafted stylish collection. Helping to give me inspired and celebrate your history of college sports. Homefield, where tradition meet modern comfort in every stitch. We introduce variety sports and all caps to see 15% off that order. And so we'll dive right in here with the hot news of basketball right now with the new coach Barry on the hill, and we now know one player that is coming along with him from Kentucky is Big Z, the 7'2" center that is a stretch forward, three big man, and I feel like we're taking a year two lead into next season.
Yeah, it's going to happen this year. I think we talked about it before. I saw other shows where I think domino fall. That's another domino you kind of can't stay in. So it's time to get that big coach. Excited to kind of see what the next couple of weeks are going to hold as far as my transfers come in. There's been a lot of interest in Arkansas. A lot of big waves in the national media. So it's going to be a fun ride to see you all. It's exciting. One of those coach Cal. There's a lot of big things coming.
Yeah, that's really, there's been some for partner nice Kentucky mid that is recently committed a couple of weeks from his NIL, basically expecting him to put Arkansas time to is officially announced. And then the newest news is Arkansas now has one of his first assistant coaches, and that is Kenny Payne, who's going to be the associate head coach for Cal, that has previously worked with Cal at Kentucky. He's slated to make $900,000 per year, which it's being said that's probably one of the highest paid such situations. So he brings in a lot, and I think hopefully we'll see that with recruiting and the coaching experience he brings up with over 20 years of coaching experience.
Yeah, he's got experience in the NBA, obviously, coaching level, and assistant coaching, head coaching. He's head coaching Louisville for a few years. Not bad recruiter, a lot of history to coach Cal, so I think kind of ground level, understanding his lingo, his terminology, all those things. I felt like that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. Coming out of history of Coach Cal, he's been from 2010 to 2020 with Coach Cal, and in that time period, Kentucky went to 7 Sweet 16s, 7 Elite Eights, 4 Final Fours, 2 national championship games, 1 national title, along with 4 SEC regular season titles. So I think that speaks for itself. You want him and the Coach Cal to do, and then I believe there's not been any pressing stuff. I'm pretty sure regular season staff, so having those two guys down the road recruiting. I think Arkansas will be able to land record is not going to be have situations where probably that with what's the key only through the university.
Yeah, there's all new around around you times that's great to hear. We'll see if that's all true. I'm not sure, but it's our potential and don't just kind of step it up if you will. What's going on? And so it's just exciting to see where the shakes it up, especially when it comes to how we work with the temperatures for employees.
Yeah, that's true. Been mentioned, remember, to Arkansas is Abu Guerrero. He's starts on his top 5 schools that he's considering. Another guy is Jay Wentz, fruit that decommitted from Kentucky that was followed out with Louisville, and it's pretty interesting to see what direction he heads, whether it comes to Arkansas or somewhere else. We know Kentucky has a new coach, but I think there's quite mixed feelings about it. But we'll have to see where that looks at Arkansas. And as far as the guys that we talked about, Dave, Arkansas, if one of those guys will not meet some markets, we just committed to Texas for the past couple of days. That's one thing. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break here. If it's technical difficulties, we will be back.
Check. 1, 2, check. Nothing. I wonder if it's because it's output to that. It's good.
Better audio. Okay.
Okay, we are back now. Got the audio situation figured out. And so, as we were saying, with all the news with Coach Cal, it's exciting things around the university. And, he's brought in his new assistant, Kenny Payne. And it's going to be big for Arkansas. And so, as we continue here, we were just talking about how, out of the guys that entered the portal from Arkansas, we've talked about guys that we think may or may not, return to Arkansas. One of those guys we just said, Tremont Mark, as he just announced the other day that he committed to Texas. So he's going to be heading back down to the state of Texas to a different university. So, I don't know if that was just necessarily something with he didn't think it'd be a fit with Coach Cal, or that he would be, not a fit for the system. I don't know. What do you think about that?
First off, I wish him the best. He did a lot for us last year and really was kind of the heart and soul of the team. Definitely carried us in a lot of the games that we won. So definitely was sad to see him go in a way, but appreciate what he did for the university. As far as the reasons why he's leaving, you can speculate till you're blue in the face on that. But I think a lot of it's just, new coaching, a lot of different things going on. I don't know if the desire was there, both ways from coaching and Tremont to stick together. There might have been some conversations had there that like, look, we're cool with you going. We want to go different directions. So wish him nothing but the best. He, like I said, he did a lot for us last year and appreciated everything he brought to the court.
Yeah, that's very true. So, it'll be interesting to see where the basketball program heads over the next few weeks. One of the things to consider, and it was mentioned today that, we had several guys that didn't even commit until June last year. So, we'd like to see those commits flying in sooner than later, but I don't think we should get worried just yet. As we're so used to how Coach Muss was and being very vocal about he's reaching out to this recruit, he's talking to this guy or that guy. Well, Cal's not that type of guy. He's more of a quiet type coach that he's going to go about his business, and then you'll find out when it's officially announced from that player himself. So I think that's going to take some adjustment for a lot of Arkansas fans, as they're used to be seeing a lot of social media activity from Coach Muss, and Coach Cal is a lot different than that.
Yeah, he definitely plays his cards a little closer to the vest. I think that was evident in just the way his hire went down. I mean, he definitely didn't even want the news to come out the night that it did, with that being the national championship night. He was vocal about that, was a little frustrated about that even. So I think it's definitely going to be a change of pace for Arkansas fans to get used to. the way that news is going to come out around players, around coaching changes, anything like that. It's going to be a little bit different than what we've been used to in the past. I'm not necessarily mad about it.
Yeah, that's true. And so we'll hit some other news. Arkansas gymnastics, they fell in the semis last week or a couple days ago, scored a 196. Not their best meet. It's a good thing for them to have made it all the way to Fort Worth to the semis. But, I think this program is in a good spot, but it's got some ways to go before it's really going to be in there with your Oklahomas and LSUs that are going to be competing for those national titles.
Yeah. You got to commend them for such a good year. Set tons of program records as far as scores week in, week out. I think we had 5 different weeks where we upped our previous program record, and then we had a lot of attendance records broken with a lot more eyes on gymnastics than been in the case in the last few years, especially just for the sport as a whole. A lot of other universities are having good gymnastics showings as far as fan turnout. So great things coming there, a lot more funding, a lot more recognition from the university, and it's a good thing to see.
Yeah. So got to love for Coach Weber has the program app, and we'll jump over to quick Arkansas tennis update. Whereas the women's tennis team beat Mississippi State 6-1 on April 12th. They beat number 38 Ole Miss 4-2 on April 14th, and they fell to number 33 LSU 4-1 in the SEC tournament on the 18th. And then men's tennis, they beat number 25 Florida 4-3 on April 12th. Fell to number 12 Mississippi State 4-2 on April 14th. They beat Lindenwood 4-0. Beat number 35 Georgia 4-1 in the SEC tournament on April 18th, and they fell to number 4 Kentucky 4-0 in the SEC tournament. So, other than nationals, I think the men's and women's tennis team are about done for the season. We'll see what happens in the nationals, but other than that, decent success for them is beating some ranked teams and continuing to take steps forward with that program.
Yeah, I thought they had a good year overall. Definitely some up and down moments in conference play, but overall not terrible things there. It seemed like they had a better trajectory this year than they did last year, so that's about all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's true. And so with that, that's really all of our big news and updates for this week. We're going to take a quick break here, and we'll have Addison Nichols and Taylen Green up on stage and do some Q&A with them and see how spring went and get their perspective.
The lead is 6. Handson loses the ball. Here's Dave. Caesar back.
Get the bus, baby! Get the gold trophy! Get the gold trophy!
He is 6 of 7 for the year. Blocked! Carlos Hall. He was out for a few plays, Vern. He comes back in and blocks the kick.
Jones looking. Jones now throwing to the end zone, and it is complete! Yeah! Oh, my! I can't believe it! 31 yards to Decory Birmingham in the back of the end zone, and this game is...
The give is 5. Want some more. 5. McFadden.
See ya!
D-Mac.
Hold on, Matt Ryan.
D-Mac not looking back. Touchdown.
How about that Heisman, Mark Jones?
How do you like
wide
it?
open again. Did that take how long?
It was an 80-yard run. I'll guess about 8 seconds.
Wow.
The first baseman's not very far behind him. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, skied into left. That ball's hit pretty well. It is gone. Brett Eibner's hit a home run and the ball game's tied. Brett Eibner has hit a home run and the ball game is tied. The Razorbacks down to their final out, and Eibner, for all his troubles this season, has just saved things.
Gain of 31. Now out of the spread, here's Mallet back for the second time. He's got a man wide open. It's Ronnie Wigno, number 20. Scoots in for the touchdown, Arkansas.
He's in the slot. Oh, they've got him open, and he's intercepted again. Picked off by Rohan Gaines. He's got a convoy.
chance. Rohan gains touchdown, Arkansas.
Feeling here in Fayetteville. Got him! He struck him out, and Arkansas is headed to the College World Series for the 8th time in school history. The Gaffer thunders one home. Arkansas with the lead. It's so loud in here you can't even hear the whistle, but that is Tennessee ball. Deep left field! Out of here!
All right. Check. All right. We are back from break now, and we're going to have our Q&A session with Addison and Taylen here. And so, we just got finished with spring practice, spring for you guys. What's your initial thoughts on how springs went before we dive into some questions here?
I think spring's going great. It was great to see everything that we put into the pre-spring kind of unfold, see, the playbook start to come together a little bit more, not just walking through it, actually getting to go against people live and see that all kind of correlate. And obviously the biggest thing for me is the team chemistry that we've been building, getting to see it all unfold on a field was great.
I would say the same as Addison, just being on the field, everybody playing football again, not in t-shirts and shorts, and lifting, But shout out Coach Shouters. But it was really, really fun being out there and just learning a new playbook, and I believe learning from the best coach in the country. So definitely every single day was one to remember.
So thinking about that, you guys both are transfers coming into Arkansas. If you could pick, this is a question we got, when we were fielding some questions. If you could pick a biggest factor, what really would you say made you choose Arkansas?
The two biggest for me are Coach Mateos and Coach Pittman. It would have been dumb not to come and want to play and learn from those two offensive minds and offensive line minds, two best in the business, best you can find anywhere. And those were really the biggest things for me. It just would have been dumb for me not to come.
I would say Coach Pittman, Coach Petrino played a big factor in it, and being close to home. I'm from Dallas, Texas, so my family get to be able to come to most of my games. Was a really big factor in that too.
A little closer than that, a lot closer. Yeah, so thinking about that, kind of piggybacking on that question, was it a tough process to transition to Arkansas? And was there, any team culture differences between Tennessee for you, Addison, and Boise for you, Taylen?
Yeah, it's different everywhere you go, just different people, different personalities. But after so long, you kind of get back into the rhythm of things. It was really just getting back into a rhythm. Once I met everyone and really kind of got to build those relationships, it was super easy. But definitely that first few weeks, probably a month, I didn't know a soul coming here. I didn't know anyone on the team. I didn't know anyone in Fayetteville, nothing. So that first month was definitely a little bit of a challenge, trying to get to know as many people as I could as quickly as possible. But now that that's all said and done, it's amazing.
I would say the transition for me was a lot easier coming here than to Idaho, because I'm from the South, so just the people and love the food and all that. I tell everybody the food here is insane. So just enjoying my teammates. They embraced me with open arms, and that's what I love about Arkansas and just being a Razorback.
So, we're thinking about that, staying kind of on that same topic. You kind of talked about how that adjustment's been, being closer to home and, getting to play for Coach Pittman and Coach Mateos, two of the best out there. So talking about Coach Petrino, how are you guys liking his offense? And did you guys have to make any adjustments to your game kind of as that transition to, new offensive coordinators, new O-line coaches, a whole new system in general?
It's completely different than it was at Tennessee. Tennessee was a very simple, quick, high-tempo offense, so everything was a lot simpler. And here it's a very, very, very difficult playbook, and that was definitely something that I had to adjust to. And there was a lot of stuff that I hadn't even heard of before, and that's just one of the things that I'm kind of adding to my toolbox. I'm able to know that much more and learn from incredible minds as Coach Pittman, Coach Petrino, Coach Mateos, and it was definitely difficult. But once you've got it down, it's pretty simple.
I would agree. There's a lot that goes into it, but Coach Petrino is really detailed, and being a quarterback, he gives you the keys to the offense. And if we do good, it's mainly because of decision making. But if we do bad, it's because of our decision making, and he lets us know every single series. Like if we don't score, he's like, it's your fault. If we score, he's like, good job. So it's two ways to go about it, but that's what I like. He's really hard on us, but he gives us the real.
So now thinking about this is probably going to be one of our more serious questions here. Waffle House or IHOP for you guys?
That's the easiest question ever. Waffle House.
Waffle House.
I feel like if you say IHOP and you're from the South, you don't deserve to be from the South.
Hey,
that's an easy take. That's a cold take.
So now thinking about you, Taylen. So, has there been any specific wide receivers or tight ends that stand out to you throughout the spring so far? And how well do you feel that you're clicking with those guys and the chemistry and the bond that you've built since you came in and been through spring? We've had the spring game, and now we're transitioning into summer, getting ready for fall practice here in a few months.
I would say all of them are very talented. You got Todd Broden, you got Drew, you got Satania, you got Luke, you got Keys, you got Dre. You got Jadon Wilson. That's what is really cool. We got so many weapons. It's gonna be hard to stop. I call it like pick your poison. We got JJ and we got Dub in the backfield too. So it's definitely fun and interesting when all the pieces come together. And that's what I'm excited about in the fall. When everybody's live. Because I wasn't really live in the spring. So just to have the QB run game and just the whole package just to come about on Saturdays, that's what I'm really excited about.
Without giving up too much details with learning this Petrino offense and everything, is there a specific play that you like that's one of your favorite plays, or that you just feel like you want to drift to, and it's like when that play's called, you're like, okay, this is it. This is that play that I've been working for.
I would say in Petrino's offense, he has you. Once he calls a play, that's my thought on it. Like most plays, because he distills that confidence in us when we're in the film room, because we're in the film room for hours and hours. And he just builds that confidence in you. And so that's what I know, that when he calls a play, he's putting me in the best situation. He's putting my teammates in the best situation. And all we have to do is stick to our rules and execute. So I would say most of the plays that he calls, I'm having full confidence in it. I'll say all the plays. My bad.
Yeah, that's good to hear that, the confidence there. And, Petrino is one of those guys that has that, stigma around him. He's one of the best offensive minds in college football. has worked with some really talented quarterbacks. We didn't get to see a ton of it in the spring game as far as, that QB run action with, not necessarily being fully live, with some probably just keeping you guys healthy. But kind of thinking about that, when we get into the fall and the season opens up, how do you feel that quarterback run game, your legs, will really change the dynamic of the team?
I would say taking my legs away in the spring really helped me with my development, as a passer, and just getting the pass pro right and knowing the defense, because a lot of times, like, me running can bail me out, but, this is the SEC, and my dream is to become an NFL. You always can't do that, because everybody's big, fast, and strong. So just being able to do it both with my arm and my leg, I feel like in the spring that just take it away, like I said, my legs really helped me as a passer and just knowing the game more.
Yeah, that's great stuff. And to think about, and we're all excited to see some of those electric plays that's going to be made in the fall. And, as we transition over, Addison, for you, how hands-on, we've seen clips and stuff as far as fans on social media and whatnot, whatever the university releases. But for you, in a perspective, how hands-on has been with this offensive line in the spring? We see those videos. It seems like every day he's working really hard with you guys and with Coach Mateo. So really, how truly hands-on has he been with you guys?
He's been as hands-on as he can be. It's been incredible for him to be able to be at practice and, take the time to come over to the offensive line, and we'll split it up. It'll be like guards and centers with Coach Pitt and tackles with Coach Mateos, or centers with Coach Pitt, and then the rest of the guys with Coach Mateos. So it allows us to get a lot more done. And they're both such talented coaches that you get to learn so much. And he's been able to give so much of his time to us, like pre-spring ball, being in the meeting room with us, and during spring ball, being on the field and giving us his drills and his tips and pointers and all that stuff. And it's been incredible. He's given us a lot of time, and very, very blessed and thankful for it.
Yeah, we know the rumor, or not the rumor, but it's been put out there that he's one of the best. And, last year I think raised a lot of question marks for people. And I think this year, he's taken that approach of, he's got that stigma around him that he's one of the best in the country. And I think he doesn't want let last year call that into question. So do you think, there's a little fire behind that in him working with you guys and, really getting back to having one of the best O-lines in college football?
Absolutely. I personally think that current coach, best is Coach Mateos. Coaches that have coached, Coach Pittman. I don't think there's really any debate. He is just unreal. His track record's incredible. Both of their track records are incredible. And like I said earlier, them together is just a powerhouse. And if our offensive line doesn't do well, that's on us, because they're giving us every resource and every ability to succeed and do as well as possible.
So after going through spring practice and everything, with you as an offensive line unit, how do you feel that you and the rest of the guys, there's several transfers that have came in this year. You've got Keyshawn Blackstock, Fernando Carmona, several, and a few returners, and yourself. How do you feel like the chemistry between you guys has built since all of y'all got on campus, been through spring practice, and looking towards the fall?
I honestly have never been a part of a offensive line with this amount of chemistry. We bonded almost instantly. It was honestly incredible to me. I didn't expect near what we're at now. Like we bond and connect like crazy, like the whole room, and we're just each other's best friends, and we do everything together. And it helps us a lot with our communication on the field, and it's been great. Like the communication, or not the culture has been great, and the chemistry has been great in the room.
And so kind of thinking about, we've just wrapped up spring ball, and we had the spring game. How do you guys feel overall going into the summer and as fall camp's going to get here, late August? So how do you guys feel about, where everything's at? Do you think there's always continuous improvement, but, if you were to get ready to suit up and play a game, like how do you guys feel going into fall camp?
I feel great. Obviously, there's always something to improve on and always something to get better at. But after the spring, I feel like we have given ourselves a great, stepping stone, a great start to grow and progress on during fall. And this summer is going to be huge for us just to get our bodies right and our minds right. It was tough to get really the playbook super down this spring with school and then spring ball and all that stuff. And this summer will be a fantastic opportunity for us to really focus in on the minor details of everything within our technique and our footwork and within the playbook. And like I said, I think we've given ourselves a great leg up going into fall camp.
Yeah, I feel good how the spring went and the spring game went. It laid a great foundation to what we want to build here, and I think everybody has the right mindset and just to put our head down and work. And because like you said, we always have something to improve on, and that's the thing about we're all like, even when the spring game's over, we're still watching film, we're still in the playbook, and we're like still going to throw and stuff like that and build a chemistry. Even though like spring ball is like over with, like we're still improving, we're still trying to get better because in August that's when showtime is, and that's when we're all look forward to.
So one thing I was thinking about, just over the past few days with the news coming out about the NCAA and some of the ruling. So, it came out just, a couple of days ago that they did approve, the helmet comm system for college football and in implementing the 2-minute warnings system. So I don't know if that's been something discussed with you guys, but do you feel like that will be able to benefit you, as we go into the fall, being able to have that comm system instead of, getting the plays called from the sideline? Or do you think it would be a good mix, for how kind of Petrino wants to run that offense?
I think, I can't really speak on the comms, but for the 2-minute, I think for the offense, it's definitely beneficial to give us that time to, focus in on, what we need to do for those 2 minutes, not kind of just, oh my goodness, it's 2 minutes. We got to go. Give us a little bit of a break, time to kind of communicate and talk through some things. And definitely a little bit more challenging for the defense. As an offensive guy, I appreciate it, but for our defense, I'm not a huge fan for it. So, but for the comms,
I would say the comms, I like it. I personally like it. I think it will help me picture the play, like when the coach says it, just picturing and just being that, like, get me ready for the NFL, because they do the same the same thing. So I think it'll be cool to see how we use it with home and away, with the crowd and stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Maybe it'll be a mix, but we'll see.
Yeah, with being very new, I think it's going to take some maybe learning and adjustment for the college game. It's going to be interesting to see how it's utilized. Like you mentioned, in those home and away situations, it could have turned into one of those things you really use that at home, and then you stick with signs on the road, things like that. So with it being a very new thing, I think it's going to be interesting to see how that develops, for it being the debut season of it. But like you mentioned, it'll be great for, you and other quarterbacks around the league as something that y'all can get used to, as that's how they work in the NFL. So, to help y'all start acclimating to that now, that way it's not, something new when you get to the league and start practicing and having that come in instead of necessarily specifically having to look through the signs. Anything you got, Seth, down there?
I'll just yell. We got short cords. So the one thing that I'll add, there's a lot of rumors going around about black uniforms because they look really, really clean on you quarterbacks.
Yes.
Do you guys have any feelings towards the black uniforms, whether you want them or not?
Want them.
Want
them.
Hey, all y'all fans out there that are all
Want
about
them.
the red and white, I am too, but you heard it here first. We need some black uniforms up here.
Gotta have the black uniforms. Got to.
That's all I've got.
So as we kind of work on wrapping up here, we thank Taylen and Addison for joining us today. We'd like to shout out and thank Core and Scarlet Letter. We're sponsored by them. opening up the tap room, having us come do this live show here. And, this isn't going to be the one and only. There's going to be more. We're going to get quite frequent here. So as we continue to grow, they continue to grow, we're going to be doing more things here. And as we kind of wrap up here, we'll be back on tomorrow for our Razorback recap and this weekend's baseball and softball. And with that, we'll get out of here and we'll see you guys next time. Oh.